You're on Short Final, Ireland's aviation podcast from Squawk 7000. Here's Mark Dwyer and Michael Cummin.
Hello and welcome to our 50th episode. On this week's Short Final, Stobart Air ceases all flying, EirTrade opens a new facility in the US, and Eurocontrol details the impact of COVID-19 on air traffic in and out of Ireland.
Late on Friday evening, Stobart Air announced to their staff that the proposed deal to sell the airline to the Isle-of-Man-based Etzel Limited had fallen through. Following this news, the airline suspended operations and the company is now seeking a liquidator. Stobart Air operated all the Aer Lingus regional flights with bases in Dublin, Cork and Belfast City airports. The airline was only operating two routes from Dublin, the PSO routes to Donegal and Kerry. The two aircraft involved position empty back to Dublin on Saturday morning, arriving shortly before 9 a.m, and were parked remotely on the West Apron. None of the Aer Lingus regional flights operated from Belfast City Airport on Saturday morning, while the base at Cork Airport had not reopened since the pandemic. In a letter to staff on Friday evening, Stobart Air said that, in the absence of any alternative purchasers or any alternative source of funding for Stobart Air within the timescale required, Esken, the owners of the airline, will not be providing further financial supports. The airline then terminated its franchise agreement with Aer Lingus with immediate effect.
And Aer Lingus Mainline has stepped in to operate some of the Aer Lingus regional routes operated by Stobart Air. In total, the company operated 12 routes from Dublin and Belfast. For the coming week, Aer Lingus will operate A320s on routes from Belfast City Airport to Manchester, Birmingham and Edinburgh. This will allow longer-term plans to be put in place. Loganair has offered to repatriate any passengers stranded with a special fare available of £60 on routes to Belfast City Airport, while Ryanair has offered a £40 rescue fare. It's expected that all of the airline's aircraft will be repatriated to their leasing company over the coming days. The majority expect to go to Mönchengladbach in Germany and to Billund in Denmark. Late last year, a new start-up airline, Emerald Airways, was selected as the preferred bidder for the Aer Lingus regional franchise. That contract is due to start in January 2023.
The Aviation Intelligence Unit at Eurocontrol has published a briefing document detailing the impact of COVID-19 on air traffic in and out of Ireland. The main findings are a total of 282,000 flights have been lost since March 2020. Currently there are just 181 daily flights in and out of the country. That's 80% down compared to 2019. Total traffic this year is expected to be 43% of 2019 figures and 71% in 2022. The busiest airport was Dublin with 136 average daily flights, which is down 81% on 2019, and the busiest airline was Ryanair with 39 average daily flights, down 88% on 2019. The document also makes three traffic predictions, with the most likely scenario that traffic will not return to pre-pandemic levels until at least 2023. Traffic figures for the rest of Europe are a lot more promising, with the total traffic for 2021 expected to be 71% of pre-pandemic levels.
In our last episode, we mentioned that Orion's Aviation had been appointed the Tecnam dealer for Ireland. Orion's is also the agent for Pilatus in Ireland, and this week they brought the PC-24 twin-jet demonstrator to the country to exhibit to potential customers. The aircraft visited Cork, Waterford and Weston and made a number of local flights. The PC-24 has the unique ability to land on short and unimproved runways, features an advanced flight deck and an interior designed in collaboration with BMW. Over 100 PC-24s have entered service since the first one was delivered in 2018. The global fleet has clocked up over 33,500 hours flying in a wide range of roles, including executive transport, special missions and medevac operations.
EirTrade Aviation, based in Rathcoole, County Dublin, has opened a new facility in Dallas Fort Worth. The 22,000 square foot facility will be headed by Bill Thompson, who joined the company this year, and will complement EirTrade's existing operations in Europe and Asia. Despite only having opened its doors last month, EirTrade expects to receive its first General Electric and CFM56 engines into the facility shortly. The company also has facilities at Ireland West Airport in Knock and were responsible for the decommissioning of the Airbus A380 that arrived there last year. The new facility in the US will allow the company to support the General Electric CF6 and the Rolls-Royce RB211 engines.
The European Union Aviation Safety Agency has issued a safety directive calling on the national competent authorities in EASA member states to instruct aircraft operators with their principal place of business in their territories that conducting operations in Belarus airspace is no longer allowed unless required for safe operations in unforeseen circumstances. The safety objective of the SD, which was published in consultation with the EASA member states and the European Commission, is to reduce the potential risk to passengers and crews that could arise from operations in this airspace. This follows the incident involving Ryanair flight FR4978 on the 23rd of May. In response, the Irish Aviation Authority has published Aeronautical Notice 087, directing Irish air operators not to conduct operations in the Minsk FIR. A NOTAM has also been issued that extends the restrictions to all Irish registered aircraft. EASA had earlier issued a safety information bulletin concerning operations in Belarus airspace. The SIB has the status of a recommendation directly to operators, whereas the SD recommends mandatory action by the national competent authorities for those operators.
The Airline Pilot Club will host an online event next Tuesday evening, open to all to attend. It will feature an expert from ASG ATO who will spotlight the ATPL exam subject, Principles of Flight. This is an important topic that plays into two key competencies, Flight Path Management Manual and Automatic. It will also include tips on studying for the exam and how to use this knowledge at your airline interview. The event on Tuesday starts at 7 p.m. and you can register for it on the Airline Pilot Club website.
To accommodate all airspace users, including drones, the Irish Aviation Authority has completed a public consultation on UAS geographical zones. Following this consultation, the IAA has issued an update to Aeronautical Notice U04. The latest update allows for greater access in the Dublin area, some exemptions for model aircraft sites, and additional restrictions around prisons. Full details are available at iaa.ie/drones.
And finally this week, researchers at the University of the West of England, working with the Royal Aeronautical Society, are conducting a research study to explore the underrepresentation of women in the pilot trainer role. As more women are slowly joining the pilot profession, it is becoming increasingly important to understand why less than 1.5% of the senior pilot training community are women. Researchers are looking to hear from both male and female commercial pilots in a survey that will take less than 15 minutes to complete. You can find a link to complete the survey on the Flying in Ireland website.
Thanks, Mark, and you can find these stories and more on flyinginireland.com. And a reminder that you can listen to our long final editions. In our next episode, I'll be talking with broadcaster and pilot Barry Lang. You'll find it wherever you get your podcasts and on our site squawk7000.ie. Thanks for listening.